Alright, we get an extra card from their mulligan. We're going against a Kyogre deck. I really dislike that deck. Just gonna attach an energy, get him in Chino. Then I'll use Level Ball. And I could get a Chinchino. I think I'll just go for another Scorbunny. And I'm just gonna pass. We have Evolution Incense. Dude, they're just gonna attach an energy. Let's evolve into Ninetales first. If I can evolve into the Crisis Power, I can actually dunk this guy. Let me retreat. Bird Keeper here. Dude, we get a rare candy! Come on, okay, we do have it in the deck. So we can evolve this. I just need an energy here. Come on, make do. Give me an energy. Let's go. Fireball shot for the win. Good game. Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please take a second to click the like button if you like this video or hit the thumbs down if you don't. Also, if you enjoy the contents of this channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get PTCGO code cards. Are you looking to complete your Pokemon card collection online for the latest set? PTCGOstore.com has everything you need. Please use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so you can get a 5% discount. Help yourself out with the discount, and thank you for helping support the content I create in this channel and for helping out PTCGOstore.com. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at Ninetales from the Fusion Strike set. Ninetales is really used more for support. While it is a stage 1 Pokemon, its ability is actually really good, by way of the Nine-Tailed Fox. If your Pokemon has fire energy attached to it, its retreat cost will be reduced by 2. So in principle, this ability would synergize really well with builds that use fire energies and builds that can benefit from reduced retreat cost. And so with that in mind, I went with something simple today and went ahead and paired this with Libero Cinderace as well as Crisis Power Cinderace. This Cinderace is a stage 2 Pokemon with 170 HP, with 1 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to water. It has the ability Libero. Once during your turn, if you switch this Pokemon from the bench to the active, you can attach 2 basic fire energies from the discard pile onto this Pokemon. And its attack is Flare Striker. For 2 fire and 1 colorless energy, it will deal 190 damage, after which you have to discard 2 energies from this Pokemon. The damage output of this attack is really good, I think, because it's powerful enough where it can 2-hit KO any VMAX in the game, and it does enough damage where it keeps a nice cushion for matchups against builds that involve some healing or damage reduction. While its attack discards energy, its ability more than makes up for that because you can easily reattach them back to Cinderace. Technically, you really shouldn't be able to attack every turn with the same attack unless you can pivot in and out of the active to re-accelerate the energy from the discard pile, or if you have another Libero Cinderace to switch with in your bench. And this is where Ninetales comes in, because despite Cinderace having 1 retreat cost, the ability will save you the trouble of having to discard an energy just to retreat. Most builds with this Cinderace actually uses Air Balloon to help with retreating, but just in case your opponent has Tool Scrappers, you really don't have to worry about that anymore thanks to Ninetales' ability. And this can even open up deck space for other tool cards that may be of more help for Cinderace to use. I did add 1 copy of the Single Strike Cinderace, and this has exactly the same stats as the Libero variant. This one has the ability Crisis Power, which basically increases its attack damage output by 30 times the number of prize cards your opponent has already taken. In effect, the ability can increase your attack by a maximum of 150 damage. Its attack is Fireball Shot. For 1 fire and 1 colorless energy, it deals 150 damage. However, this Pokemon cannot attack the next turn. This attack can be so powerful, allowing you to dish out as much as 300 damage if your opponent has 1 prize card left. And again, since you cannot attack with this Pokemon the next turn, retreating just becomes a lot easier with the help of Ninetales, because now you can easily switch with another attacker without having to discard any energy already attached on this Cinderace. One thing to keep in mind though with this build, since you want at least 2 fire energies on your discard pile to accelerate those energies with Libero Cinderace, sometimes having to discard an energy when you retreat can be beneficial too, so be sure to incorporate this in your strategy before evolving Ninetales. As far as consistency, first I'm using Snorlax with the Gourmandize ability. While it ends your turn, you can draw cards until you have 7 in your hand. And in tandem with this, I'm also using a 2-2 line of Cinccino with the Make Do ability. You have to discard a card to use this ability, and when you do, you can draw 2 cards. This can also help you discard fire energies when you need one in your discard pile. These two together really form such an incredible drawing power, allowing you to get the cards you need at just the right time. Since we are working with single prizers, I have 2 ordinary rods for recovering Pokemon and energy. As for my supporter cards, I have 2 Bird Keepers, which helps with the switching and also for drawing 3 cards. I also have 3 Boss's Orders, 3 Brunos. This is a great alternative to Professor's Research, just because you really don't want to discard most of the cards you have on the deck. This allows you to shuffle your hand back to the deck and draw 4 cards, but you can draw 7 cards instead if one of your Pokemon was knocked out on your opponent's last turn. Next is 3 Marnies and 2 Raihans, which is great for accelerating an extra energy from the discard pile and finding an extra card from the deck. As for energies, I have 4 Capture Energies, which helps bench our basic Pokemon from our deck, and this works well with both our Cinderace because their attack consists of at least 1 colorless energy anyways. And finally, 7 Fire Energies, and that's pretty much it. The rest of the deck is pretty much the basic stuff, and if you're interested, you can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay. Okay, my opponent chose to go first. I'm gonna mulligan, and from the looks of it, my opponent's using a metal type build. And most metal type Pokemon are weak against fire, so we should be hitting for weakness here. So we should have an advantage over this matchup, but we'll see. I'll just put Minccino in the active because what I'm thinking is that I can put the fire energy on Minccino. We can retreat it, and that will set up for our Libero Cinderace, putting a fire energy in the discard pile. So sure enough, we are up against a Zacian V build and Oraguru. So most likely this is gonna be the basic Zacian V, probably Zamazenta V build. And they also have Cape of Toughness. So that's probably what this matchup is. But we should be able to easily knock out the Zacian V even with that Cape of Toughness, as long as we set up our Cinderace quick enough. Alright, they're gonna Intrepid Sword with 1 energy attached to Zacian V, so we should be okay. We got Snorlax from the top deck, which is insane. I could get Cinccino with this level ball. And I'm just gonna attach an energy, retreat into Snorlax, and I'm just gonna Gourmandize. So we can't evolve Cinccino yet because it's our first turn. And we draw into 2 Brunos. So we're doubling up on our support card, which can be good sometimes, but you know, in the beginning of the game, you'd rather have variety so that you can form or you can set up your other Pokemon. But my opponent is just, their setup is just really quick. So now they can probably knock out Snorlax. All they have to do is switch their benched Pokemon to the active. And they're also using Coding Energy, which removes the weakness, which means we'll have to, we'll be able to knock out Zacian B with 2 hits, so that's not good. So now we can evolve Cinccino. I'm just gonna make do here. Alright, we can evolve into Libero Cinderace, which is good. But we'll still need an energy on Cinderace and also 1 more fire energy in the discard pile. So with Bruno, at least we have Capture Energy. And I think I'm gonna set up my Vulpix. And I'm just gonna Gourmandize here. So my only fear is that my opponent has Boss's Order. They could just target my Cinderace. But with this build, you definitely want at least 2 or 3 Cinderace set up on your board at a time, because if your opponent can manage to knock out your Cinderace, you'll have 1 or 2 backups. Because again, you can't, for the most part, all of the Cinderace in this build can only attack once per turn, or once every other turn, unless you can switch them out. So now my opponent is able to attack this turn, knocking out my Snorlax. And so both of their Zacian V have Coding Energy on it, so they're well protected from the weakness that we're hitting for. We don't have Vulpix set up yet, so I can actually switch out my Scorbunny here discard that fire energy and be able to hit with Libero Cinderace. Okay, but for the meantime, we have Chinchino anyways and an energy, so I can actually spare that energy. I'll just evolve here, make do the fire energy. So now we can use Libero Cinderace and still retain this fire energy and be able to attack with Flare Striker for 190 damage, and then we can discard these two energies. So all we have to do is set up another Cinderace, really. At least their Zacian V won't be able to attack this turn unless they switch it out. If they don't have a switch, they have Professor's Research though. They'll have to discard 2 cards to retreat their Zacian V in the active. If they don't, we should be able to knock it out with our other Crisis Power Cinderace on the bench. So 110 HP. Yeah, the damage output of Cinderace might seem awkward. If it was like 200 plus damage, you can knock out a V Pokemon, that would have been better, but it's actually to make it balanced, because really when it was designed, I'm thinking it's when you go against other single prize cards, so they're not gonna make it too powerful, but at least it's good enough to make that buffer well, where you can 2-hit KO most VMAXs. So they're gonna end up knocking out my Cinderace by hard retreating. And I'm just gonna put Capture Energy here so I can set up another Score Bunny, another Cinderace line, and then we can just manually evolve into Crisis Power Cinderace, draw more cards, we get a Snorlax, and I'll just Fireball Shot here for 210 damage. Not quite enough, but again, at least they can't attack right now. They've already used 2 Metal Saucers. I mean, if they have another one, they should be able to power up their Zacian V. Oh, they're gonna boss my Snorlax. Alright, that's fine. We have Bird Keeper to switch, and they're just gonna Intrepid Sword. So we should be okay here. We're in a good spot, I think, but now they have another Zacian V powered up, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. So I think I'm gonna get my first 2 prizes with my Crisis Power Cinderace, and I'm gonna use Ordinary Route here because I just really need to keep retaining my Cinderace line available. And I think I'm gonna get 2 here because I'm pretty sure they're gonna be able to knock out my Cinderace in the active. So we're gonna have 1 more Fire Energy in the discard pile anyways. Gonna use Make Do. Hopefully we can get a rare candy here. We do get one, so we can evolve into my Libero Cinderace, and actually I'll retreat this one in the active. Oh, you know what? We only have 1 Fire Energy in the discard pile, so okay, well, those are some of the things you just can't foresee. So you just gotta, I just made a decision here, and because Crisis Power can hit for 300 damage when my opponent is down to 1 prize, so that would have been nice to preserve the one in the active, but given that there was only 1 Fire Energy in the discard pile, I couldn't really power up my Libero Cinderace to knock out their Zacian. So just went with that. I get 2 prizes at least. Now their active has 170 HP, so that should be enough for my Libero Cinderace to knock it out. I just put Snorlax in the active, and I'll start to energize the other Score Bunny here. Make do, let's see, one of these. And okay, we get a Raboot. So in case we don't get a rare candy, we can evolve into another Libero Cinderace in the next turn. Use Switch here, get 2 Fire Energies from the discard pile, and we should be able to knock out this Zacian V in the active. Since one of our Pokemon was knocked out, we get 7 cards from our Bruno, and at least we got a boss, you know, that's good. Let me see if I can set up another Score Bunny here. Oh, dude, I think it's prize. So I'm just gonna attack here then. At least that will get us 2 prizes. Maybe we'll get the Score Bunny that we need to set up another Cinderace. Okay, we get a level ball. And a Minchino, okay? So it's in the last 2 prizes, unfortunately. And that's how the game is sometimes. Just don't get all the cards that you need when you need them, you know what I mean? But we'll make do. So my opponent's definitely gonna knock out my active, but at least we have Raihan. I can accelerate 1 energy. Oh, dude, you're gonna Marnie. Okay, well, that changes the whole plan then. We get a rare candy. I mean, a Chinchino, a boss, and an energy. So that's that's not good. I was hoping for at least a Cinderace maybe that we could actually finish off this match by now, but we're gonna knock out my Cinderace in the active. And what I could do actually is put my Ninetales in the active. I can put an energy because we have Ordinary Rod left, just in case we need more of our Cinderace back in the deck. At least my opponent still needs 2 prizes, so we can still win this. Oh, we get Marnie. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make do. Okay, we get an Ordinary Rod. What I'm gonna do is actually use that so I can increase my chances of getting Cinderace. So I'll just get Pokemon, not energy. We'll retain the energies in the discard pile. And that should increase my chances of getting a Cinderace, right? Give me a Cinderace now, come on. Okay. I don't get it. Alright, let's just get a Minchino from the level ball then. I'll just retreat into Snorlax, put this there. Get rid of this level ball so that we can draw into more cards with Gourmandize. And there it is, we get Evolution Incense. That's gonna get us our Cinderace. And we have enough energies in the discard pile. Oh, but they're gonna Marnie. Oh no. Okay, we get a Cinderace from that Marnie, so we should be good. We can evolve next turn, and with their Zamazenta V, they're gonna knock out my Snorlax, but all we have to do is switch our Ninetales in the active with free retreats, and you know what that means. All we have to do is evolve into Cinderace, and when we switch into the active, that's gonna get us the energies we need, and we should be able to knock out the Zamazenta V. So there it is. Good game, man. The coding energy definitely made this match a little bit more complicated, but man, our opponent definitely put up a good fight. Good game. Okay, my opponent's going first, and I'm gonna mulligan. For some reason, I get a lot of mulligans with this build. I have enough basics in the deck, so I don't know. Alright, we're gonna start with 2 Score Bunnies, which is not too bad. You always want to have 2 lines of Cinderace as you go along with the game anyways. And we are going up against a Malamar V to start. Been a while since I actually faced off against a Malamar VMAX build. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. I think it's winnable. We're just going to Minchino to start with Level Ball. Going to use Marnie. That might be able to disrupt their hand. Okay, we get a Cinderace, Libero. But we need a rare candy, so can start energizing one of the Score Bunny in the bench because my opponent can easily knock out the one in the active. Oh, but you know what? Malamar V actually has the attack where it switches off one of the bench into the active and then damages it for 30. They also have Yveltal from Celebrations that removes special energy, but we don't have to worry too much about that because we have enough basic energies to actually work with. Although we have capture energy, but we don't have to worry about that too much. I'll just use Bird Keeper here to draw into 3 cards. We get a Snorlax, which is awesome. And I'm just gonna use Gourmandize here for 3. We still need that rare candy. Unfortunately, my opponent's gonna be able to knock out my Score Bunny. All they need to do is use that attack one more time. Oh, they're gonna Marnie, okay. I had Ninetales right there too. But that's okay, that's alright. Hopefully we get good cards here. Alright, we get another Score Bunny. We get a Chinchino, so that's good. So we can draw in 2 more cards. But they decided to just knock out my Snorlax. Alright. Let me put this Score Bunny in the active. Evolve Chinchino. Make do this level ball. Oh no, the Fire Energy. Okay, we got another Score Bunny. Put this here. Let me get another Snorlax. I'll retreat into Snorlax and then Gormandize one more time. What I'm trying to do here is actually have them knock out another Pokemon because I can evolve into the Crisis Power Cinderace, and that should be enough damage to knock out this Malamar V unless they evolve it into a VMAX. Because Cinderace Crisis Power ability increases by 30. So that's 150 plus 60. That's 210 damage, exactly the right amount of damage we need to knock out this Malamar. So we have all the things we need. We have Rare Candy and also Crisis Power Cinderace. But we don't have energy. Let me get Ninetales here. So that's what we're showcasing for the most part. And I'm just going to make do this level ball. Come on, get us an energy. There it is. Nice. Exactly what we need. Fireball shot for 210 damage, knocking out this Malamar V. Nice. 2 prizes. Get a Rare Candy, which is actually really good. So now we can evolve into a Libero Cinderace. Then we can use Bruno to draw into more cards. Use Make Do. Hopefully we can get more Fire Energies and be able to just switch off our Cinderace from our bench and active and continue to attack. We have 2 boss orders. So my active Cinderace is not going to be able to attack this turn. They're going to use Word of Ruin, but that's fine. We can easily retreat that thanks to our Ninetales. Put an energy there. Evolve this into Libero Cinderace. And then I think I'm going to use Bruno. I think I'm using Bruno. Either sacrifice one of the boss. Let me retreat here. Get an energy. We get 2 energies from the discard pile anyways. And I'll just use Bruno. Okay, we get another boss. I can get a Raboot so that, you know, we have two Score Bunnies to evolve into. 190 damage. Not enough to knock out this Galarian Slowking, but that's fine. We're gonna 2-hit KO. We can switch back to our other Cinderace and knock it out next turn. They're starting to energize their Galarian Moltres on the bench. It should be enough to knock out our Cinderace when it attacks. But you know what? If it attacks, it actually gets damage 30. So it's going to be within knockout range of any of our Cinderace. We just need to evolve into another Cinderace, basically. They're going to use Bird Keeper. Switch into their Krogunk. Interestingly enough. Energy Switch. Okay. Oh, they probably need another energy from the discard pile, so they can use the energy and be able to attack. Aura Burn for 190 damage, knocking out our Cinderace, but that chip damage on Galarian Moltres should make it a lot easier for us to knock it out. But I'd really like to set up another Libero Cinderace if I can. That way I can preserve the Crisis Power one. Okay, with the Make Do, we get an energy but no evolution. I might as well just put that on Reboot and just knock out their active with Fireball Shot. 240 damage, more than enough to knock it out. Get an energy and a Quick Ball. 240 damage actually is a lot of damage. We can finish this game off. Just retreat this active. We have a switch. We have a boss. So we can pretty much knock out any of their 2 prizers here. We can knock out this Galarian Slowking V with a lot of damage anyways. Even if they evolve into a VMAX, we should be able to knock it out. And also their Garbodor V. if they don't evolve that, all we have to do is just gust that into the active with our boss. And we should be able to finish it off with our Crisis Power Cinderace. So we got this game for sure. But you know, let's not celebrate too early. They have Galarian Moltres here. That hits for a lot of damage, but they're going to use Escape Rope. Let's see. I could sacrifice my Scorbunny in the active. And they're going to pass. Dude. That's it. We get this game. Alright, good game. Let me just get this Garbodor. Fireball Shot. Get our last 2 prizes for the win. There you have it, guys. Good game. Starting the game with Snorlax in the active is always great. We also have Minccino. And my opponent's using Castform build. That's what it looks like. You can use Pokemon Catcher. We have Lovable. I can get a Cinccino. And yeah, the drawing power between Snorlax and Cinccino is actually really great. Really great. And my opponent's using a golden Snorlax. I should invest, man. I need to get a set of those. Even on PTCGO. Definitely expensive in real life, but you know what? Yeah, I should invest. To get a set of that gold Snorlax into my collection. Alright, let's start setting up our Cinderace by getting Scorbunny with this level ball. Attach the Capture Energy. I'm gonna get Vulpix here. Set up my Ninetales. Get rid of that to get another Scorbunny set up. And I'm just gonna use Bruno to get 4. Get another Scorbunny, that's good. Gormandize for 4. And we should be good. Now, this matchup worries me a little bit because, first of all they need to do is recover their Castform. And they don't need any energy to attack. Especially they're using a water type. Our Cinderace is just gonna get knocked out with 1 hit. And Castform, the Fire Castform is doing 150 damage every turn. So if they manage to discard enough Stadium cards, they'll be able to attack for free. And that worries me because it's a lot harder for us to set up our Stage 2s, energize them. And all they have to do is just replace their 70 HP Castforms, you know? They don't have to worry about energizing, and it's a basic Pokemon. Insane. And they also have Galarian Meowth to discard more cards. Okay. Alright, they have 5 so far in the discard pile. They're just going to Gormandize, and they actually use Peony, which is a great idea. Let me just energize my Scorbunny here. Use Bruno. That's going to lessen our hand size, but at least we can use Gormandize this turn. I might as well use the Evolution Incense to get a Reboot. And then evolve this attacker. And Gormandize. You know, the chip damage from Old Cemetery is actually bad because now, even if they use their Fire Castform, they'll be able to knock out my Cinderace for 150. So that's not good. Yeah, so this matchup is actually a little bit more complicated than it looks. The price exchange is even, but as far as setup goes, my opponent definitely has the upper hand. All they have to do is just continue to put Castforms in play, and they'll be able to just continue to attack and knock out as much of our Cinderace as we can. As far as recovery goes, we don't really have a lot to recover. We only have Ordinary Rod, and there it is. They have enough Stadium cards in the discard pile to start attacking for free with their Castform. Yeah, so there, there it is. They're already ahead 1 prize, so we're going to be exchanging prizes here, but they also have Water Castform, which is not good. So I'm just going to change up my strategy here and just stall. Boss their Snorlax in the active, and hopefully they cannot retreat. I'm going to get my own Snorlax, retreat the Cinderace, and I'm just going to Gormandize, and hopefully I can get more boss's orders. Just in case they can switch out their Snorlax, I'm just going to continue to boss it up into the active, and hopefully I can trap them, and they won't be able to attack at all until they deck out that's one of the weaknesses I've found with the Castform builds, because it has free retreats and they try not to use any energies at all. If they use up all of their switching cards and they don't have any energy to put on Snorlax or to switch it out, then that's just gonna be game for us, because if they get trapped and they cannot attack, all we have to do is wait until they deck out. So far, my opponent has used 2 switch, and I don't know how many switch they use, so we'll find out. They're gonna boss my Cinderace, and they're just gonna Gormandize. But that's fine. We have Ninetales to evolve. We can just put 1 energy on Cinderace, and then we can easily retreat it into our Snorlax. First, let me use my Bruno. We get a Chinchino. Maybe I can evolve into a Raboot, which we don't have anymore, so I'll just get a Libero Cinderace. Use Make Do. Can spare a energy on the discard pile. And then I can freely retreat my Cinderace into Snorlax to use Gormandize. Alright, so let's see what happens here. I just want my opponent to just use up their switch as much as possible. And we're going to go from there. Okay, they have Peony. They're going to discard their entire hand. And that's probably going to find them the switch. There's the switch. They also have Palpad. That's why I think, even though Castform has free retreats, 0 retreat cost, it's important to have switching cards or at least enough energy for you to recycle. Because if you run out of switching cards, at least you have the energies to attach onto your Pokemon so that you can retreat. So they managed to attack with one of their Fire Castform, knocking out our Snorlax. Let me just use Make Do to get a boss, but we don't get it, so we might have to sacrifice another Pokemon here. We might be able to take out 1 Pokemon at least, but I'll just get Snorlax and a Raboot. Get my Snorlax back, and then I mean, I could get a boss with this right hand, I suppose. Just energize that, and then just get a rare candy. Why not? Just do this, and then gonna retreat into my Libero Cinderace, and then just knock out this Fire Castform. Okay, they have 1 card left in their hand. So they're trying to avoid getting Snorlax into the active at this point. So they're going to be stuck with 1 card on their hand. But you know what? They're adding more cards each time they knock out our Cinderace. And they're doing that easily because they have Castform that is a water type. And we are weak against water type. And that's not good. Let's make do. We still don't get a boss. And that's not good. So I'll just continue to try and even... I mean, I can't even out the price exchange. But I can use Raihan, accelerate an energy, and I think I need to get my boss finally. We're going to lose 1 more Pokemon here, but that's fine. Let's attack this guy for 190 damage, getting us 1 prize. But at least we will be able to trap their Snorlax into the active. So we get a Scoop Up Net. And that's good. If my opponent uses Scoop Up Net, that can actually be useful as well. But here they are with the Snowy form, Castform. But they're going to switch. Why are they switching? That's not going to... Oh, they're going to boss. I see. They're going to boss my Cinderace. I was going to say they can't knock out my Libero Cinderace. But they targeted my Crisis Power. But that's fine. I'll just use my Snorlax. Boss their Snorlax into the active. And maybe we can trap it. Okay. Let's put that there. Get another Score Bunny. And you know what? We have 13 cards. Let me use Make Do. Okay, we got our boss. Okay. We have 11 cards, and they have 11 cards. We should be fine at this point, because they need 2 prizes left. What's gonna happen is that if we didn't pull into a boss's orders, if they manage to switch, they can knock out 2 Pokemon easily. So at this point, they are ahead in drawing a card. They can use Pokemon Catcher, but it doesn't matter at this point because we can easily just retreat. You can attach an energy or even use switch, but you know, it doesn't matter if we switch out or not. Because if they don't have any other way to switch out, they're gonna deck out first before we do. And yeah, this is gonna be my strategy. Alright, so Ninetales did help a little bit with the retreating. But as far as the strategy goes with this one, yeah, that's it. If they don't have any other way to get their Snorlax out of the active, we win the game. So I'm just gonna keep passing. All right, might as well evolve this. I mean, I have Marnie just in case. Let's see if my opponent has anything else here. That well played, man. Well played. Okay, we get an extra card. It looks like we're up against a water type build here. It's not always great to go against. The Cinderace definitely doesn't do too well against water type. Let me get my Snorlax. Get rid of this fire energy to set up for our Libero Cinderace. And I'll get a Vulpix with this Quick Ball. Use Switch. And I'm just going to Gormandize. Because we have Ninetales anyways, we can evolve into Ninetales in our next turn. And we get another Score Bunny. We have Level Ball, probably get a Chinchino. And another Capture Energy to set up probably another Score Bunny. But my opponent has Snom. They just passed. They don't have any other cards to set up another basic, I guess. So we're just going to take advantage of that and continue to set up our board here. Let me use Bird Keeper, draw 3 cards. We didn't get anything else. Use Make Do. And we get a Fire Energy. Let me just put this energy on Score Bunny. Retreat. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to actually discard that energy, but I forgot Ninetales. And I think that's one important thing that you have to keep in mind. Because sometimes with the Libero Cinderace, you want to discard energy, but if you set up Ninetales too fast, you're not going to be able to discard that card because it reduces your retreat cost by 2. But thankfully, my opponent uses Marnie, so that allows us to get new cards here, which is great. And we actually have Rare Candy and Crisis Power Cinderace, which could help. But they are setting up their Inteleon fairly quickly, but at least they don't have any means to retreat their Frostmoth, so we should be okay for a few turns, hopefully. But if they have a boss, they'll easily knock out our Fire-type Pokemon with their Inteleon. So we get another Minccino. I don't feel like I want to set up another Chinchino, so I'll just set up as much Cinderace as I can because they can easily one-hit KO our Cinderace. Having a lot to rotate into as far as attacking goes, I think is the best strategy for this matchup. So we'll do our best. At least we will be able to take multiple prizes each time we knock out their V or VMAX. But yeah, that's basically my main strategy for this matchup, I guess. If we can 2-hit KO their VMAX, they'll take out two of our Cinderace, but we can take 3 prizes in exchange for 2 that they take. So if we manage to knock out 2 VMAXs this matchup, we should be okay. They're gonna continue to energize with their Frostmoth, so I'm definitely worried here. If I can get a boss and just start hitting their Inteleon VMAX, I think I'll be a little bit more comfortable. But if they do attack, my Score Bunny is actually within knockout range because Inteleon can hit the bench for 60 and they'll easily knock out my Score Bunny if I do that. So anyways, let's use Make Do, get rid of Raihan, maybe we can get a boss and start attacking. We get a Cinderace, which is good, so we can actually attack. We have also Reboot, energize that, and I'm just gonna use Marnie. Okay, we get another Cinderace we can evolve into in the next turn. Just get rid of this so we can draw into 3 cards. Okay, well, yeah, we should have 2 more bosses in our deck. I really need to hit their VMAX first before they can hit us. I mean, if they... Okay, they have Escape Rope. I'll have to sacrifice Chinchino, I think. I need to preserve my attackers at all costs. At least the Reboot really helped because now it's within... It's outside the knockout range of Inteleon's bench damage. So we should be okay. They're going to use Max Bullet, knock out our Chinchino, and they're just going to hit our Libero Cinderace. So I'll just put Reboot. We can easily retreat thanks to our Ninetales. Evolve into Libero Cinderace, attach this, get another Score Bunny. You know what? Let's not do that because Inteleon is still alive. We need to preserve that Score Bunny so that we can set it up. We just have to take care of this Inteleon first and knock it out. Doesn't matter if we get 2 or 1. We're gonna get knocked out here anyways. So I'm just gonna use Flare Striker for 190 damage against this Inteleon VMAX. So we're halfway there. If they manage to retreat it, we're just gonna continue to attack. Their other main attacker is Glaceon VMAX, which we can actually 2-hit KO as well. But the main thing is we have to really take care of this Inteleon VMAX because it's the one that can easily knock out our Score Bunny, and that's gonna prevent us from setting up another Cinderace, which we actually need. Okay, we got a Score Bunny. We should be okay to set it up now because we're gonna knock out this Inteleon. Just gonna use Bruno. Okay, we got our rare candy back. Let me put an energy on Score Bunny. Use Ordinary Rod. Okay, we have 3 energy. I can do both. Get a Minchino and get another Score Bunny. Just in case they manage to knock one out, we can set up another basics so that we are for sure going to be able to get a Cinderace set up. So for the meantime, I'm just going to retreat here and use Libero Cinderace, I think, to attack. Okay, we get the 2 energies, and then I'm just going to use Flare Striker. 190 damage, knocking out their Inteleon VMAX, getting us our first 3 prizes. We get a Chinchino. I was right to get that Minchino out of the discard pile, so we can set it up if we need to. And we also got Evolution Incense, which is great. That means we can set up another Cinderace on the way, because now we can attack with our Crisis Power Cinderace without having to switch it back out. And we're going to be hitting for a lot of damage, so even if they try to heal or whatever, should be okay. Yeah, so far we're doing great here. If they had other Pokemon to set up, dude, they're gonna hard retreat their Glaceon. What is going on? Are they actually scared of our are they scared of our fire type Pokemon? I have to admit, going against this Cinderace build is a little scary. But out of sheer desperation, my opponent just attacks with their Frostmoth, dealing only 60 damage. But you know what? We're going to use Evolution Incense to get another Libero Cinderace set up. And we should be good to go. Yeah, we are ahead here. Oh, we can even knock out their Frostmoth and then just 2-hit KO their Glaceon VMAX from this point on. And let me put a Fire Energy on Ninetales just in case. But what I'm going to do here is just retreat into my other Libero Cinderace, get 2 Fire Energies from the discard pile to energize it. I'm just going to use Boss and hit for 190 damage against this Glaceon VMAX. Flare Striker, 190 damage. We should have another boss in the deck, so even if they choose to retreat, we should be able to gust it up into the active, getting us our last 3 prizes. So we should be okay. Yeah, you know what? We did okay in this water type matchup. We did okay. Especially, you know, my opponent is losing 3 prizes at a time. You know, they're just gonna attack my active and that's gonna be game. All I have to do is switch my Crisis Power Cinderace into the active and be able to knock out their Glaceon VMAX, getting us our last 3 prizes. Good game. Ninetales has a very useful ability that is well suited for fire type builds and is great for cards that require a lot of switching in its strategies. While it may seem that it doesn't do much to help the deck, but personally I think it synergizes perfectly with Libero and Crisis Power Cinderace. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this build. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.